This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, officials firing back after its director, Captain Stephen Russell, was lambasted and heavily criticized by House of Assembly Speaker and Bamboo Town Member of Parliament Patricia DeVoe on Thursday. The House Speaker claims that NEMA was not on the ground following a severe weather disturbance in the south and southwest areas of New Providence on Wednesday evening. And while expressing her frustration over alleged inaction of NEMA, she stopped short of calling for Captain Russell's firing, suggested he needs a 9 to 5 p.m. job. Well, in a statement responding to the Speaker, NEMA officials say Captain Russell was on the ground in southwestern New Providence until 10 p.m. after being notified about possible tornadic activity in the Cowpen Road and Blue Hill Road areas around 2:15 p.m. that same day on Wednesday. The statement says, at the time, Captain Russell was informed he was briefing parliamentarians on NEMA's plans of action for the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. The statement says Captain Russell immediately consulted with Director of the Bahamas Department of Meteorology. He also immediately contacted the lead officials of several agencies and various emergency support functions that fall under NEMA. The statement said Captain Russell visited the site to assess the damage in the Cowpen Road area. It said Captain Russell remained in office until 7:30 p.m., apprising Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for disaster and preparedness and emergency response, Miles Larota, of the actions taken to bring immediate relief to the affected areas. It was not until 9 p.m. that Captain Russell received word that Bamboo Town residents were also impacted by the severe weather activity and needed assistance. He again mobilized NEMA's assets to the newly reported affected area. The NEMA team then met at the Prince Will School on Zion Boulevard to further coordinate their efforts to assist residents in the Bamboo Town community. Minister of Grand Bahama and Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Ms. Ginger Moxie, announcing new unit collab that is set to assist Grand Bahamians in need and to help rejuvenate Grand Bahama. The minister unveiling as much in her budget contribution on Thursday as she spoke on the plans to innovate the island.
Madam Speaker, we are on the ground, in touch with the people of Pine Ridge, and we are passionate about our agenda for Pine Ridge and have actively engaged in inspiring hope, enabling opportunities, and delivering results. Routinely, we deliver birthday and sympathy personal acknowledgements, as I believe in the personal touch. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Theodore Roosevelt. We also have a place for Pine Ridge on our very own hurricane safety team. This team will assist as much as possible the elderly and disabled in need before, during, and after hurricanes and in emergencies and disasters. We remain accessible to the people. And like I said, we have a fully functioning constituency office open from 9 to 5 year-round to help with needs for Pine Ridge and Grand Bahama.
Minister Moxie saying that CoLab seeks to recognize the importance of nonprofit organizations and working with other ministries and other organizations in an effort to develop partnerships. She contends that creating partnerships is key to the advancement of Grand Bahama and the tackling of the hard issues that arise.
The primary goal is to ensure that the vision of the Ministry for Grand Bahama to become the home of maritime and logistics, the home of events and entertainment, and the home of innovation comes to fruition. This requires a focused strategic agenda and partnerships, both locally and internationally, to ensure that the basic needs of residents are addressed and for the further development of our island.
She noted that the 2022-2023 budget is the second highest budget for her ministry, the Ministry of Grand Bahama, since its inception, and that the new unit collab represents the most significant increase in the new budget with a new line item of $3.7 million.
This Ministry for Grand Bahama, my Ministry for Grand Bahama, is a ministry of innovation and collaboration. Whilst the CoLab unit was provided $3.7 million, representing 27.6% of the overall budget, this there's an additional $170,000 for sister city relationship development that I will explain further. $240,000 for marketing and promotion because we will be promoting Grand Bahama Island around the world. $210,000 for small business development. Another $150,000 for grant funding development, and $50,000 for the Grand Bahama Humane Society. All of this totaling $4.5 million or 34% of the overall budget.
The minister remained optimistic that the new unit will benefit the island of Grand Bahama greatly, with many new developments on the rise. One of the country's most charismatic professional boxing legends has fallen ill and is in need of assistance. His family and friends have arranged a grill out for this Saturday in an effort to raise funds to assist with his medical care. In this next report, we take a look back at his career and find out how you can assist. Ray Minus Jr. had a successful professional boxing career spanning from the 1980s to 2001, and he has put the Bahamas on the map on many occasions, fighting big matches in the United States and the United Kingdom, oftentimes bringing the victory back home to the Bahamas. In addition to holding the Bahamas lightweight and light welterweight titles, Ray Minus Jr. also held the WBC Continental Americas Bantamweight title, the WBA Intercontinental Super Bantamweight title, and the Commonwealth Bantamweight title. In 48 professional bouts, he finished with a record of 37-9-1, with 27 wins coming by knockout. 7 of those 9 losses also coming by knockout. His sister, Carla Turnquest, told us about the medical challenges Ray now faces at the age of 57.
So over the past few years, Ray has been struggling with his health. He's had a few minor strokes that has left him what we thought was the effects of the stroke, but we found out very recently that he has a condition called ALS, which is a muscular disease that his body is actually consuming his muscles. So right now, as it stands, there is no known cure for that disease. It's a very progressive disease that is happening right now with him. So it's very progressive in his body.
As for the fundraising efforts on Saturday, Ms. Turnquist says it is difficult to come to the public, but circumstances are such that assistance is needed as Ray's condition continues to degenerate. She shared with us how any funds raised would be used.
Well, the funds are to help with his long-term care and for his short-term medical use, as he will need to, over the years, over the months, he will have some medical issues that he'll be dealing with, and we need treatment and he needs therapy. But more importantly, he needs long-term care because he does not have use of his arms. And that will and may get worse over time. So we will have ongoing events to try to help, to support him, and we're asking the public to come out and help him in every which way for well-deserving behavior.
Locally, Ray Minus's biggest rival perhaps was Quincy Thriller Minute Pratt, who he beat in their 2 matches in 1999 and again in 2000. After retiring from pro boxing in 2001, Ray turned his full attention to coaching other pro boxers and training amateur boxers. He formed the Champion Amateur Boxing Club as early as 1995 at his home and has positively touched the lives of scores of young men over the past 27 years. His daughter Rachel Minus Roll tells us what you can expect at the Grill Out and Boxing Show on Saturday.
So this Saturday, we are having a boxing event for him, which is an exhibition fight along with a cookout, a grill out for him. We will have grilled chicken on sale for $10, grilled pork $12, fried fish dinners for $15. Just to support and help to take care of Lorenzo Minus, which is Ray Minus Jr., the Bahamian boxing champion. He has held many titles and represented this country well. He's the British Commonwealth title champion. He is the bantamweight title champion, lightweight, and so on and so forth. And he's trained many people in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and around the world. So we just want to support him because of his medical condition, and we want to make him feel that he is loved. We want to make him feel like he is the champion that he is.
Despite his medical challenges, whenever his health allows, Ray can be seen at the boxing gym as he continues to work with the nation's youth. He is expected to be at the Grill Out on Saturday at the National Boxing Gym in the Blue Hill Sporting Complex from 12 to 5 p.m. And finally, the Bahamas All-Pro Celebrity Weekend powered by REV with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture joined the Bahamas National Trust, BNT, today for a mangrove cleanup in honor of World Ocean Day that was celebrated on June 8th. The Bahamas National Trust, REV, NFL players from various teams, and other sponsors gathered at the Bonefish Pond ready to get their hands dirty, picking up trash and other items that have been illegally dumped. Executive Director of the Bahamas National Trust, Eric Carey, says since 2010, they have been planting the mangroves, and there are many healthy ones, but over the years, they have seen some damage as well.
Over the years, even though we have some fairly healthy mangroves in the system, over the years there has been damage and degradation. So a part of what we're doing today is we're planting mangroves near to the boardwalk to help to restore those areas.
Mr. Carey says that their main goal is to help to revitalize and revive one of our main natural storm fighters around the island, and that is the mangroves. He adds that the mangroves provide a buffer between land and sea and explained their great importance to our country's ecosystem.
So they're known as land builders because they actually, as the leaves and stuff fall, and as silt comes and gets trapped by the mangroves, they actually build land. So they're actually known as land builders. But mangroves are critically important from our perspective today. They're linked to the ocean because these mangrove systems serve as marine nursery areas. So baby fish, conch, crab, they all spend a part of their life cycle as juveniles in these mangroves, protected by the mangrove roots, being safe from predators, finding food, etc. And as they grow older, they move out onto the reef. So without mangroves, we won't have these marine nursery systems. Without marine nurseries, they're not going to be any fish on our reef. So they are critically important to our marine ecosystem and critically important to our ocean's health.
In addition to this cleanup initiative, members of the NFL and other sponsors gathered on the southern end of the pond near the boardwalk to replant mangroves. Lindy Knowles, Senior Science Officer at the Bahamas National Trust, says that before conservation began in the pond, they moved over 30 to 40 tons of garbage from the area. Michael Strawn, wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts and one of the only 4 professional football players born in the Bahamas to have played in the NFL, expressed how happy he is to give back.
Yeah, it's definitely important giving back to the environment. Love being out here. You know, it's great weather. You know, it's definitely exciting to be here. The
Bahamas National Trust hopes that today's conservation and cleanup efforts help citizens to realize the real-world problems in Bahamian national parks and the importance of keeping them clean. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jarino Saunders.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.